Hi, this is Keith Furrow with Keith Furrow Associates. We get questions all the time about zero down financing and how many different ideas are out there, how many programs are out there. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that and then the minimum down programs that are out there. Now, there are multiple ways to do low financing or low down payments. Now, the most famous is VA. No down payment required for VA. You still have closing costs, and a buyer still does have to qualify for a loan. And most of the lenders are going to have VA programs. And what that means is you served in the military, I believe it's 181 days, and there are certain types of military branches that, I believe all your basic ones, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, are going to qualify, and in some case Coast Guard, and there may be some others that do based on how much active duty time you had. Again, that's zero down. Navy Federal currently has a really interesting one. They have a zero down conventional program, and we find that as a very good opportunity for those that no longer have their VA. And again, you have to be a member of Navy Federal. USDA or rural housing is another zero down program, which is going to be based on whether the particular area you're interested in is considered part of the rural housing program. VA doesn't have that restriction, provided the property will meet the guidelines is fine. The Navy Federal conventional zero down will also be most any home, provided the home is a good, safe, sound home. USDA is going to be geographically specific. In our area, the north part of Escambia County, north of 10 Mile Road qualifies, and currently all of Santa Rosa County, not counting Gulf Breeze proper, qualifies. So that's kind of our area. And those lines can change, and those maps will change in time. Then the next thing is we have the 3% conventional program, which is many of the lenders have that program. Then you have a 5% conventional, 10% conventional, 15 any amount in between those. And then once you reach 20% conventional, at that point there's no PMI or no private mortgage insurance, which is extra cost for a buyer monthly in their payment, and that's so that it insures the loan if for some reason the buyer has to default. Now, FHA would be the next most popular, and it's 3.5%. Recently, 3.5% down. It hasn't been as popular because they have raised their MIP, which is very similar to PMI. It just means mortgage premium insurance, and that's basically the same thing. And it's been cost prohibitive recently, although you can combine that with these programs, all of these programs, depending on the income of the potential buyer, they may be able to get $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, in some case higher amounts to help with down payment and assistance. Now, next question I get is, okay, I've got this program. What kind of closing costs am I going to have to pay? Well, you've got closing costs on any of these loans, and your closing costs are going to run 1.5% to 3% for a buyer. They're going to run 2% to 3% for a seller. Somebody's going to have to pay these fees. And another video you could hear about how we break down those costs, but those are something you have to consider. And then if you've got a private mortgage, that's going to be the terms between you and the seller. And again, how those costs are going to be between you and them, but there are certain mandated costs. Look at our other video on closing costs, and that will kind of explain the breakdown of that. This is Keith Furrow, Keith Furrow Associates. Have a great day.